Today we're talking about Cathy's Crawly composters and what you do best. What started off the whole business of Cathy's Crawly composters?
Well, I guess it was probably all the organic stuff being shipped to Michigan.
Okay.
That wasn't the start. I mean, the short answer is that the worms are my mission.
The worms.
The worms. The worms
What do worms do for our environment?
They eat the food scraps and paper and convert it into nature's finest fertilizer, castings, so we can grow bigger, better, tastier fruits and vegetables naturally.
And when did you realize you had this connection with the worms, that you were at one with the worms and that the worms were our friends?
When they were haunting me in my sleep and I was liking it.
Oh? You're a bit wacky.
And you even have your little worm earrings.
Yes, and these are actually for sale. This is our new item for this year.
Oh,
Make an
no
environmental
way.
fashion statement.
Wow.
Be the first on your block.
You really love worms.
She really does. So today we want to talk about the premium worm castings that Cathy's Crawly Composters offers and what they do.
Well, I wanted to hear about George's, I wanted to know about George's big blooms, but never mind.
My big blooms, that's a whole other show.
Well, the cast...
I don't know where to go with that.
I don't either. Okay.
Okay, well, let's talk about worms then.
Okay. So how does this work? What's
Okay,
going
well,
on
this is the container that you would have the worms in. They eat shredded paper and food scraps. The worms are 90% moisture, so they need a fairly moist environment. This needs to be the consistency of a wrung-out sponge.
I have a feel. Oh, it is quite damp.
Yeah, and then you add in just a liter of ordinary garden soil and some agricultural lime, mix it all up, and that's the perfect bedding for the worms. You add the worms in. These worms eat half their weight every day. These are red wiggler worms, which are different than the night crawlers. And they're designed to live in a container, I think.
Do they multiply or breed in there?
They do, yes.
They
thank
do?
you. Yeah,
Oh.
they double in number every 90 days.
A lot of time to kill, John.
They're just worms. There's nothing else to do.
Worms need love
Eating
and
and
soup.
mating, that's what they do.
They eat and mate.
It's
not a bad life.
Like
it's a
some
worm's life,
people I
that's
know.
right. I'm coming back as a worm. Okay, so they eat half their weight every day in organic matter, converting this into castings. This is ideal for a family, say of 2-4 people, to convert their scraps. Instead of putting it in a bag, put it in, shipping it to Michigan.
So tell us some of the garbage that you can throw in here.
Anything that grew, you can put in potato peels, like all your vegetable and fruit peels, coffee grounds, cooked pasta and rice, plant clippings, anything that grew, just not meat, dairy, sauce, anything like that.
And the worms will go through it all.
They eat it all, and they even eat manure. I've done
wow.
research with manure management, and yeah, I know it's
Dirty
okay.
worms.
We won't get there.
Okay, so
then in the house.
Then all of those scraps turn into soil, right? Is that
That's exactly right.
Okay.
They turn into castings, which is this here. This is my little sample pack.
Okay.
For anyone that doesn't know the value of the castings, they can get this for $2 and try it on their favorite plant and see, I mean, the explosion of blooms.
And what sort of big blooms?
Big blooms, that's right.
What sort of difference will the castings make? If you're someone that's used to having a garden in your backyard with fresh produce, what will these do?
Well, this is going to make your produce pest resistant, first of all, so you won't need pesticides and whatnot. You can just use the castings. It's got a natural insecticide in it. It's going to grow bigger, healthier, stronger plants, tastier fruits and vegetables.
And where should people be storing this?
This can go anywhere. I mean, the worms need to be room temperature, so it needs to be in the house.
Okay.
There's a lid that comes with this, so the worms don't need light. They don't even like the light, so this can go in a cupboard or under the kitchen table. It's a great conversation piece if you actually have it in your living room or something.
Now, all this talk about the worms, now it's time to meet the worms. Right, Kathy?
It's time to meet the worms, absolutely.
I met the worms last year, so now it's George's
to
meet the worms.
What's the,
The
I don't know,
red
what's the
wrigglers.
greeting
Well, I like you
protocol
to put your
here?
hands like this.
Oh,
And
really?
I'll put this whole squirm in your, yay, George. Ooh.
Yay.
And they have 5 hearts, so you've got a handful of hearts now.
Yeah, that's really pretty gross.
Oh,
George, take that back.
Kidding.
tilt it that way so the camera can see. There you go.
Wow, they're really.
Aren't they fabulous?
Why do they have to
Wiggly.
be red wrigglers?
Well, these are,
What makes
it's like
them
they're
special?
almost designed, these are the premium composting worm, because they eat organic matter. The night crawler eats mostly carbon or leaves, where the red wiggler eats both carbon and nitrogen. So the night crawler doesn't eat food scraps.
Okay.
What about smell? Is there a smell to this?
Thank you. Yes. No, this is an aerobic process, which means with oxygen. So if there's an odor, that means that you've overfed the worms, too much food is being put in, so the oxygen gets squished out. Now you were asking about the reproduction rate. These guys have a phenomenal reproduction rate. They'll double in number every 90 days. And people go,
I think some of them are getting
"Whoa."
busy right now in my palm.
Feeling the vibe?
Right in my palm,
Yeah.
yeah, nice special.
Tutelous environment.
Would you
Very
like to put
nice.
them back? They
Yes,
don't like the
please.
light.
So
They're-
you're a
they're stressed.
So
Well
am
done,
I.
George.
You're a big
There
advocate,
you go.
obviously,
Okay.
of the 3 R's. Reduce,
yes.
reuse, and recycle.
Yes.
Why is it so important today to practice the 3 R's?
Well, just, I mean, if we don't take action, we're gonna be drowning in garbage. That's the bottom line. Right now, we have to, well, people are drinking out of water bottles instead of drinking out of the tap. Soon we're gonna be walking around with oxygen tanks if we don't reduce our greenhouse
Okay,
gas emissions.
so it's very important. Obviously, this is a great way to reuse some things in
This
your
is
house.
fabulous. This is my new packaging. George has already experienced this.
Yeah.
You gave me one for my birthday, I think.
Yes, I did.
Exactly what I've always wanted.
Comes in assorted flavors, but really it's the same content. I have people saving these for me. And this is a demonstration. After you've done, okay, it was used for juice or whatever, then you fill it with castings. Once you're done with your castings, you can make a bird feeder, and it's really great. And this will last forever. These things
How
are
long have
so
you had that?
durable. This was hanging out all last winter. So you can see from that one, it's faded in color, but it's still sturdy as anything.
And just put a little hook there and it's
Exactly.
hanging outside?
Yeah,
What a good idea.
fabulous.
What are some other ways that we can reduce and recycle?
Well, obviously, composting is a great way to get the heavy, wet stuff out of the
Yeah.
garbage. Buying less, being really more careful about packaging. If you buy something big at the store, leave the packaging there for them to dispose of. I think if everybody did that at Costco, then
Yeah.
you know they'd package in much smaller
A
packages.
lot of ways that you can make a difference. You have some events coming up really quickly?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I'll be at. Remember the Tox box from last time with my big lungs hanging out?
Yep. You're
Nice
going
lungs.
to be at Home Depot?
We're going to be at Home Depot, my husband and I, this Saturday from 9 to 5, and Aurora Home Depot on the 10th, all day, for product knowledge about the Tox box, and it's fabulous. I love it.
Oh, good
Very cool.
stuff.
Yeah.
30 seconds. Any last words, any pearls of wisdom you want to share with the class?
If people want to know more about this,
Yeah.
Town and Country Ontario did a segment recorded at my place last year. It's repeating on December 3rd, this Saturday. You have to get a